This is the Billy T. Detroit Radio Podcast.
And we are now being joined by a special guest and good friend. This is the busiest man on television and sports right now. And he's busy now.
Right.
Jalen Rose.
It's a
family affair.
Right.
It's a family affair.
What is happening?
I don't know who I want to give that to a hug first. What up, though, Billy T?
What's happening?
What up, though, TJ? What up, though, Suleiman?
What up, though, Jay Rose? What's happening with you?
Appreciate you guys having me on. Congratulations on your continued success and being trailblazers in the game for decades.
Well, thank you, brother. We appreciate it. And I just wanted to say before we get started, because I know we don't have much time here, I wanted to tell you how proud I am of you and what you have been doing. I've watched your progress and your growth in this business, in this broadcasting business, and you are bona fide, my friend.
Yes.
And here's what I really like is that you are the go-to guy now on ESPN. I heard you on Mike and Mike the other day. Everybody wants you on their show, man.
It's a Detroit thing. I mean, I appreciate the love. Thank you kindly. For anybody out there listening, it's really just a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices truly playing off. Like the same energy, effort, and tenacity I tried to approach being an athlete, I did with multimedia. So communications, radio, TV, film, that was actually my major in college. So I guess I'm fortunate enough to be one of the people in our country that gets to work in a major that he also has in college.
Okay. You know, I also see the Jalen and Jacoby show on ESPN now, but I used to watch that, I guess, on YouTube, and now you're on ESPN with that show.
Absolutely. That started literally as a passion project. When I first started working for ESPN, I had been working with Best Damn Sports Show from 2002 to 2007 while I was still in the league. Mm-hmm. And so whether it was Top Rank Boxing, NFL Network, doing stuff with ABC, doing stuff with BET Mad Sports. So at that point, it was like, I'm at ESPN. I'm doing my basketball analyst thing, so I didn't want to get pigeonholed into only talk basketball. And so I reached out to Bill Simmons because I saw he was starting the Grandland Network and asked him about starting a podcast. So me and Jacoby really just did it as a passion project. And 5 years later, it's a radio show, it's a podcast, clearly, and now we're a television show. So we're really excited that we're actually doing a live show this Monday in Detroit, 7 p.m., doors open.
Wait a minute.
St. Andrews. We'll be there to give people what they want.
Wait a minute. You're doing a live show from Detroit?
Absolutely.
And where is this going to be?
This Monday, 7 p.m., St. Andrews downtown.
Open to the public or special?
Absolutely. You can go to my Twitter handle and see at Jalen Rose how to get tickets. But, yeah, we're really excited. We did one in Los Angeles. It's something that we're going to continue to do with the show because it's become more of a turnkey operation, and we wanted to get out, kind of reach out to different communities and take our show on the road so we can get the pulse of multiple cities. So we're really excited about doing it. We did one in L.A., and our second one going to be this Monday in Detroit.
Wow, that is huge, man. I'm happy for you. I want to come down and check it out, man, for sure.
All right, appreciate that.
Now, let's jump right into it because you're everywhere right now because this is your time of year, playoff season. What are you seeing? Do you like what you see? Are the playoffs what you expected them to be?
They are. And the first thing I'm excited about seeing is the pitch is moving back downtown.
Okay.
Let me just say that first and foremost.
Okay.
It was so frustrating as a Detroit native to represent your hometown team, land on the airplane in Pontiac, stay in West Bloomfield, playing Auburn Hills, and call yourself the Detroit Pistons. It was always frustrating to me. With that being said, no surprises that the Cavs are handling business, but I am pretty surprised to see LeBron James play as dominant as he's played in any playoffs the way he's been so far in this year's playoffs with the points, rebounds, and assists, and the team being 7-0, and obviously Golden State in the West. I think they're going to take care of business versus Utah. And so those two teams on the collision course to give us the first trilogy in NBA Finals history.
I'm looking forward to that. Jalen Rose on the phone with us here at the Billy T. Detroit Radio Show. I expected a little – it was a good playoff series, but I expected a little bit more with Houston and OKC. I found myself rooting a little bit more for Westbrook, but I thought they should have won a couple of those games. That they didn't. They were close, but I wanted to see more of a challenge there.
I am a league voter for the season's awards, and a lot of people sometimes can't separate the regular season MVP versus the finals and or the playoff MVP. And to me, the guys you just talked about in that series of OKC and Houston, I had James Harden finishing runner-up and Russell Westbrook actually winning the MVP award based on exactly what you just said. And it got highlighted during the playoffs when you saw that he didn't have the kind of help around him that James Harden has around him. And to put up the kind of triple-doubles and play with the kind of ferocity that he played with all year was just terrific to watch. Both of those guys had great seasons. But I did think Russell Westbrook deserved to win MVP.
He shined a little bit more. I don't think Harden has really exploded yet in these playoffs to me. What do you say?
Well, he's going to be guarded by Kawhi Leonard. So don't expect him to do too much consistently in multiple games because Kawhi's become the best, lockdown perimeter defender along with Draymond Green, Saginaw's own in the league. And so James got to rely on his teammates. And last night's game really just shows the greatness of the Spurs. Short-handed without Tony Parker. Yeah. Pop is masterful. Suffocate the three-point line. Let James Harden see if he can throw up a lot of numbers and beat you. He wasn't able to do it. Hold Lou Williams scoreless. I still think Houston going to win the series. But last night was really impressive.
Okay. You think Houston's going to win the series. Who is the better challenge for Golden State?
The better challenge would be Houston because both of those teams can walk in the locker room, put 115 points on the board, and see that they have multiple players that can get 20, 25 in a given game. I mean, you got the Splash Brothers, obviously, with the Warriors with Steph and Clay, and then up front you got KD, who led them in scoring, has been scoring champ, and obviously Draymond Green that I mentioned. So they're going to be able to put up big-time points, and so can Houston because of the way they launched the three-point shot. So I'll give the Rockets a puncher's chance, but unless there's a catastrophic injury, expect to see the Warriors and the Cavs in the finals.
And we know they're both coasting, but who's the best challenge on the East against the Cavs?
Going into the season, or a couple of my storylines were whoever played against the Warriors other than the Spurs in the conference finals, and whoever played against the Cavs in the conference finals are going to celebrate their season.
Okay.
So whether it's Boston, whether it's Washington, and unfortunately for Toronto, they got them in the second round. All of those teams are inferior to the Cavs.
Okay.
So as long as they looking the way they're looking and playing the way they're playing, maybe in the next round they may drop one game, but don't be surprised if they win the next round series 4-1.
Wow. Now, there was a little scuffle there in Boston the other night, and there was a lot of talk about it. It really was not much of a when you look at the old school days, they compared the two, and are these athletes today too soft, or is it just the time we're living in?
I wouldn't say too soft. What has happened is just like in music or television or movies or anything else, when things get commercialized, now all of a sudden they lose their purity. And the game obviously has changed a lot of its rules. You can't hand check. Flagrant fouls are called a lot stiffer. Penalties for getting into altercations are a lot stiffer. And frankly, players have gotten smart. They I'm going to punch this dude in the face and I might be playing with him in 2 years. And they're paying us more money than ever.
Now that's true.
You all right? All right, you good? Put a jersey up over the mouth. Let's do what we do. But in the Kelly Oubre situation, I like to affectionately call that a hold me back type of thing.
Right.
While I don't encourage violence in any way, shape, or form, I don't encourage pretending to either. And so once he decided that he was going to run 4 or 5 steps and get really demonstrative and push Kelly Olynyk, who also flopped on the play.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that not only he going to get a big fine, but he's going to get suspended 1 game and right back to basketball.
You've seen these teams and you watch this religiously. This is your sport. If you could play now for any team, who would you like to play for? What team would you like to be on, Jalen Rose?
No question about it. Wearing the red, white, and blue, playing at downtown Detroit.
Yeah.
Where's Leon Barber when you need him? My father was the number 1 pick in the 1967 NBA draft, and they played downtown, him and Dave Dean. That was always a dream of mine.
That would be awesome, man. Say, come back home with it, huh?
Absolutely, no question.
Jalen Rose, is LeBron James the greatest of all time?
Absolutely not.
Uh-oh.
Are we going here?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
We have many arguments about
is this
that.
Really a conversation? Are there people walking the face of this planet saying this?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they're ready to fight for basketball, Jesus is what we call him.
This happens in music. It happens in movies. Each generation gravitates to what has become the best of their era and says that they're the all-time great.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you have to challenge generations current and behind to do your history and do your homework. Like, I never saw Bill Russell play, but I know he got 11 championships in 13 years. So let me find out everything I can about this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And do the best I can to realistically break down how he would fit in different eras. And I'm not the person that counts only championships as the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And as a Detroiter, we can proudly say we rooted against Michael Jordan his whole career. We booed him if he walking down the street.
Still
right
do.
now. I wasn't allowed to wear Jordans even though I couldn't afford them. Okay? But he's the greatest basketball player of all time. My Mount Rushmore, Magic Johnson, MJ, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Bill Russell.
Bam.
And here's why I take all four of those guys. You know when you play video games back in the day and somebody put up some high scores that you couldn't take down? You love going back in the store and seeing games still up on a video game?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm going to give you what these Mount Rushmore guys have done. So anybody want to argue basketball and want to put somebody in front of one of these four guys, check these numbers. I already told you. Russell, 11 championships in 13 years. High score. Michael Jordan, 6 championships, 6 finals MVP. High score. Magic Johnson jumped center as a rookie after just winning a championship in college as a 6'9" point guard and won 5 championships. We haven't seen that be done.
Right.
And obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He won 4 championships in high school, 3 in college, 6 in the league, and 6 MVPs. And he's the NBA's all-time leading scorer, and he had the most unstoppable shot, signature skyhook.
There
Those
it is.
are the high scores on the video game. You want to take somebody off of that list? LeBron's coming. He's on his way.
He's coming.
4 regular season MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, 3 championships, but he don't have those high scores. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming.
Scoring, I think he's approaching in scoring, isn't he?
Yes, he's approaching and scoring. And you give, athletes today a lot of credit for, being more athletic and taking care of their bodies. I always joke that back in the day, what we did was called working out. These guys train.
Yeah.
So I give them a lot of credit for that. But as we talked about, the rules have changed. The longevity of players are going to be around a lot longer, so they're going to get a chance to put up those type of numbers. They play more playoff games, including in the first round, so it's hard to only judge players by the numbers.
Jalen Rose, I love your analogy, how you analyze these things. That's one thing I love about how you approach the broadcast end of this. What do you think about players taking games off, good or bad?
Bad. Anytime that you're deceiving your paying customer, that's a horrible thing. Imagine if you bought a ticket to a comedy show, to a concert, to any type of endeavor, and all of a sudden the person that's been promoted on the ticket as the headliner not playing or not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the NBA is a lot different from even the NFL, for example, because the talk in that league is about promoting the shield.
Mm-hmm.
So teams a lot of times root for the helmets in the teams because players just turn over so much.
Right.
They just don't have the visibility of NBA players. But in the NBA, the actual logo is a former player, Jerry West. The league promotes its stars. So when your marquee players and even the best players on any team aren't showing up to play and they're healthy, that's deceiving the customer and the fans, and that's never a good look. And also, basketball should be fun. You got 9 months to figure out when you want to get rest and take practices off, or players are fortunate enough to fly private and have more technology and have been exposed to more medical analysis of what they can do to take care of their body. So they should be geared up and ready to get out there and ball.
All right. Jalen Rose, let's see, you played for what, 12 years?
13.
13 years, and you won
and
what?
Here's another thing. A lot of these guys don't do the 3 years in college, too.
That's right.
So they get a chance to get more years of the money.
After playing for 13 years, 15 different teams.
You say 15.
Yeah, well, I was waiting on the laugh. I'm messing with you. But you went to a few different teams. Of all those teams and cities that you lived and played in, what city did you enjoy the most?
Indiana. You ask that to
Really?
any player, the answer is going to be either where they made the most money or won the most. And now the answer for me. And it just so happened of my 13 years, I spent almost 6 of it with the Pacers. So definitely Indiana, no doubt about it. And fortunate enough to play 13 years. I mean, with the league average is, 3 to 5 years. If you get a chance to get 10, then you're doing good. You get a full pension. You play over 10, then you're really fortunate. So whether it's 15 teams or one team, I'm just happy to be there.
Exactly. You had a great run. And was Larry Bird in charge when you were there, or coaching, or what was his role when you were there?
They talk about turnover of the team and the roster while I was there. I was in Indiana 6 years, and basically 2 with Larry Brown, 3 with Larry Bird, and a year and a half with Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
The legend, a JRLA classroom sponsor, Bad Boys.
Larry Bird, did he just retire from the Pacers? What's happening with that?
He basically stepped down from his role as president. He's still going to be an advisor for the front office and for the organization. I mean, Larry Bird, is a staple clearly not only in the history of the game, but in Indiana. So they're really fortunate to still have the only guy to win league MVP, be a champion, and executive of the year and coach of the year, Larry Bird. So he's accomplished more than most of us can even dream about.
Jalen Rose, a student of the game. The hot button topic right now is LeVar Ball and what he's doing, and what is your take on LeVar Ball overall?
So here's what I learned to do. Understand that everybody now has been blinded by the money. On every side. I'm talking about the media, the fans, the players, the performers, the colleges. Like, there is more money in the game than ever.
Okay.
I want to parallel this to the music industry. There were so many times when artists decided to go independent and start their own label. People felt like that was a bad idea. There's a reason why we used to call Jalen and Jacoby Pop the Trump, because we felt like we weren't getting the support from the big machine. At the time, the one we worked for, ESPN. So I look at what the Ball family is trying to do is an amazing entrepreneurial spirit. I support it. I appreciate it. I respect it. And just like anything else, if he's not the kind of multi-time all-star or a future Hall of Famer, guess what he can still do? As long as he's in the NBA, just like the other 450 guys, he can still go get a shoe deal. Remember, when you're watching the game, they're out there wearing something. So he's going to be able to get a shoe deal. But for them to take this leap and try to have their own brand and try to be the owners of their own destiny, I 1,000% support it and applaud it.
All right. Good to hear that. I do, too.
All right. Jay Rose, this TJ right here. What's up, man? How you been, man?
Really good, my brother. How are you?
I'm all right. So tell us real quick about the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy, man. What's going on with that right now?
JRLA was founded in 2011. We're a tuition-free public charter high school. We're located at 15,000 Trojan right off 8 Mile in Hubble. We have approximately 400 students in the building. We've had 2 graduating classes. So in 2 more years, we're going to basically be serving up to 800 students, trying to give them a quality school to go to in their neighborhood and put them in a position to take care of themselves, be educated, and take care of those that they love. Give them the life skills, give them the nurturing, give them the education to put them in position to be successful. So I'm really passionate about it. I have so many people that have been instrumental in making it happen, whether it's a terrific board, a terrific co-founder, so many donors and supporters and people that have donated their time, their energy, and their money to the project. And we're just trying to do what we can to help uplift as many young people as we can in the city.
Well, we're very proud of you for doing that, Jalen, and the school is getting rave reviews.
Yes.
I understand that there's a waiting list to get in over there.
Yes, we're really excited about not only what we've accomplished, but the potential to continue to improve and get better and try to give young people just the life skills, the social skills, the etiquette, the decision-making, the problem-solving, like all of the things that are not only just test scores or GPAs, but to also try to nurture these young people and put them in position where they could be leaders of tomorrow. So we're really excited, and if you want to learn more about the school, go to jrladetroit.com.
Real quick before you go, Jalen, ESPN, I understand, fired about 100 people the other day. Michael and Jamil were talking about it on their show. Very emotional. They were, we lost a lot of our friends that, they worked with. What's happening over at ESPN right now? If you can talk about that.
Usually happens when you work for a conglomerate or a big company, there are going to be different changes to the dynamics of the business. And it just allows me to continue to understand how fortunate I am to not only work for a company that has given me multiple opportunities, but continues to put me in a position, to talk about sports and talk about pop culture and come do a show there this Monday in Detroit. So it's unfortunate to see so many people laid off and or to lose their jobs. But it also was almost a reminder of how mean-spirited so many people can be.
Really?
And I don't like to look at, social media as the end-all, be-all of what everybody thinks, because I know that, social media is just that another world. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting to see how many people were rooting for others to lose their jobs.
Really?
And, yes, and then to take it a step further, wondering why wasn't it somebody else?
Oh.
Like this fool's out there tweeting why you let go of all of those people and let go of Jalen? I'm like, what?
Right, leave me alone.
Right. I'm over here doing.
Can I live?
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's business.
So, but it continues just to show, and for all young people out there listening, it just continues to show the competitive nature it is in all of these jobs and endeavors. Like to be an entertainer, to be an athlete, to work in sports, in movies or acting, or a lot of the trades that people want to get into, it's really competitive.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to continue to work hard, reinvent yourself, be disciplined, be focused, and don't let people outwork you.
It is a very competitive business. That's true. Now, I just heard that you were on Mike and Mike the other day. Is Greeny leaving the show? Is that true?
Get that information real time, kind of like you guys get, because I'm not his agent and I'm not on that show. So I'm not really briefed on exactly what's going to happen with this situation. I find out about other people's scenarios kind of like you guys do.
Yeah.
You just said we laid off 100 people, right? I'm doing me. So I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, listen, Jalen Rose on the phone with us. If that position opened up, would you be interested?
Which position?
Mike and Mike. A spot on
there.
Well,
I already participate on a radio show that I'm proud of, that I love, that's changing the game in so many different ways, and that's Jalen and Jacoby.
Okay.
We take pride in, when you watch our show, there's a reason why you see those immortals up on the wall. And Detroit legends, Aretha up there, and Diana Ross and Aaliyah. And we got Q from Boys in the Hood with the doughboy with the D hat on, got the Michigan helmet. There's a real character that goes with that I'm starting to see a lot more people able to try to duplicate. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why we continue to tap into pop culture and the music and don't just talk about sports. So I'm proud of the work that we're doing with Jalen and Jacoby. So proud that we're going to be in St. Andrews Hall this Monday at 7 p.m.
And we're going to be there, TJ.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be there.
Oh, yeah, we're going to that.
Now, Jalen, I did want to say I love the set. I love the backdrop of Jalen and Jacoby. And when I used to watch it on YouTube, you used to have a baseball bat on your shoulder. What did that represent?
The baseball bat, it's almost like a nickname. The more you do it, they continue to carry on, lives of its own. Initially, the bat was I was going to be so carefree about things that I said that I was going to need the bat for protection. Okay, that was really the mentality behind the bat. And then it was it's kind of like Linus in his blanket. I just like to have it with me. And you got to understand, working in corporate America, you get emails like, hold on, I just looked on TV. Why is he on the bat? Hold on. Is that Jay-Z with a Dookie rope standing behind him?
Yes, it is.
What's happening here? So, that was really what that was about. And us just trying to establish something at Jalen and Jacoby to create the kind of fan base that we've been able to garner over the last 5 years.
Well, my friend, again, we're very proud of you. We're glad to see you succeeding in what you love to do. And you're talking about the sport you love, but you're versed on all sports. And, again, like you said, the pop culture. So just keep doing what you're doing. You're making Detroit proud, my friend.
I appreciate the love. I'm one call away. Don't hesitate to reach out.
For sure. Jalen Rose. And, again, Jalen and Jacoby will be live in Detroit this Monday, Jalen.
Giving the people what they want.
I love your theme song. We'll be there, my brother.
Some dope beverages. I was just downloading the playlist. I got Shari Bari on my.
Oh, okay. You going straight Detroit on them, huh?
Yes, indeed.
My brother. Jalen, we love you, brother.
Yes.
Much love to you, man.
You too. Have a good day.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Jalen
Rose on
Jalen
Billy
Rose.
T. Detroit Radio, WCHB. That's how we doing it, baby.
Yeah.
Nothing but legends here, man. Nothing but
Legends.
legends.
Thank you for listening to the Billy T. Detroit radio broadcast. Follow me on social media at Billy T. Detroit.